Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Happy Friday! Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's doing very, very well. Without any further ado, let's get my fat head on the screen and see how we are looking today. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I'm pleasantly surprised. Guys, something you will all come to appreciate as you get older. I say this as an old unk, is that when you wake up in the morning, the length of time that it takes for you to look like a fucking normal human being and not like a ghoul, it gets longer and longer. I think when you're in your teens, you just wake up, you're ready to go. You're looking fresh-faced. You're good to go. Out the door, straight away. In your 20s, you start noticing a few little areas of puffiness, some lines where there weren't lines before. In your 30s, it's just a mess. You wake up and you look like a fucking cadaver. Everything is puffy in all the wrong places. Everything is inflamed. Everything is red, discolored. But that's just what it means. That's what life is like as an unk. It's all ahead of you guys. All ahead of you guys. You accepted your ghoul look in the morning. No, I can't. I can't accept the ghoul look. I gotta reject the ghoul. Reject the ghoul. What's up, Haj? Good to see you, bro. What's up, Chev? My man. Happy Friday, Beerlack. Good to see you, bro. What's up, Sis? Let's see what the market is cooking is right. What's up, DK? Good to see you, boys. How you doing? Hope you've all had a good week. Happy Friday, Haj. Yes, sir. What's up, Balak? GM. What's up, Linkstream? My man. Marquis says it's the gift of aging. How do I return that gift? I don't want that gift anymore. What's up, I am cool? I have not joined the stream in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I noticed. I keeping tabs. You ready to short, long, get rigged, everything, yeah? I think most of us are, right? Most of us are. Ala Trader Z with the repost. Let's go. Confetti for you, my man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. What's up, Can Ivan? You sold your short. Close your short. Nice. What's up, Phil Ninja? Good to see you. GM. Yeah, we're live on YouTube, live on X, live on Twitch. What's up, Benny Mackinson? Life doesn't do returns. That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. Hope everyone is doing well on this very fine Friday. I'm feeling good, feeling positive, feeling optimistic about the future. That's the best way to be. You know, they've done tests. They've done tests on and this is only peripherally related to what we're going to be talking about on the stream, but they've done tests on people that are sick, where they give them a placebo. Like, sometimes people with pretty severe illnesses, they give them a placebo and they tell them that, you know, the placebo is actual medication, or it will actually cure them. And the rate at which a placebo heals someone, and again, I'm not exactly sure what the illnesses are, is like comparable to the rate at which actual medicine heals them. So there's something to be said, you know, when people talk about visualization. There's something to be said about just saying that you're happy, right? Just say you're happy. Trick your brain, psyops your brain into thinking that you're actually happier than you are, right? Isn't that it? The power of the mind, yeah. The power of my camera being slightly off. There we go. Just trick your mind into thinking that you're happy, right? That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. What's up, Aosh? Good to see you, GM. The biggest underrated healer is sunlight. Well, unfortunately, I'm not really in a position. I live in Ireland, so I'm not really in a position to comment on sunlight. It doesn't exist where I am. What's up, M-Big? Every onco medication, when tested, is tested against a group of placebo. Often the results are quite comparable. Yeah, that's basically what I was talking about. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. You did, what's up, Desmondo? You did 2 mountains, 60-mile cycle home after last Sunday. Bye-bye low mode. Yeah, that's amazing, man. Am I right? Are you You're not in Ireland, are you, Desmondo? I don't know why that's in my head. Desmondo. I might be way off with that. Scotland. Okay. Yeah, you guys. But okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah. You're in Scotland. Yeah, okay, you're Irish, but you're in Scotland. That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, some wicked mountains out that direction for sure. You're gonna trick your mind. You're gonna trick your mind that the liquidation wasn't real. But on a serious note, you can, you know, when bad things happen to you, people always, it's such a cop-out. People say, oh, it's just a mindset, bro. You gotta think of the silver lining, bro. But actually, a lot of life is that. Where you're like, even when bad shit happens, even when things go wrong, you're always like, how do I spin this into a positive? Right? I remember the example that I always think about is I lost my wallet. I got drunk when I was like 24, 25, and I lost my wallet. And I had like all my bank cards, and all my ID cards. It was like my whole life in that wallet. And I was so annoyed at myself. I was so pissed off. I was like, fuck, I can't believe, like I had to ring all the banks and get them to cancel my cards and send out new cards, and I had to get new ID from like the civic center, and I had to, all this bullshit, man. It was such a pain in the ass. But I spun it. I was like, well, you know what? I never liked that wallet anyway. And I like went shopping. Not shopping. I went online. I found a wallet that I really liked. And I, through sheer power of will, the power of copium, I managed to spin it into a thing where I was like actually excited to get a new wallet. And for some reason that always stuck with me, because it was absolutely just a shitty situation that I wasn't a fan of. But just through through tricking my weak brain, through psyopsing myself, I managed to flip it into something relatively positive. Cork x Glasgow, yeah. I wonder what do you make of Glasgow? I always heard Glasgow's a bit rough. Crypto holders know all about that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. When you get liquidated, you free up mind share. You free up mental capital to rotate into other assets, right? What's up, Treeborn? Good to see you, bro. That confirms how much the mind shapes the reality of the body. It certainly does. All right, boys, we're going to jump into the charts. What are we on now? 16 minutes. We'll give you guys 15 minutes to do the prediction today. Let me set this up. Uh, 15 minutes. Boom. Kashi with the follow. Let's go. Appreciate it, bro. Up, down, entry, stop loss. Exactly. All right, boys. We're jumping into the charts. Let's see what we're dealing with. Okie dokie. Well, not much has changed since my Wednesday appraisal. You guys might remember that we spoke a little bit about BTC. We spoke a little bit about this chart, and maybe we can link my X video is in the chat. I'll link it here. It's my current thoughts on BTC. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about BTC on this stream because I already spoke about it for like 20 minutes in the last stream, and we made a very nice edit which has gone up on X. You're looking to scalp long at 79,560. So yeah, to me this looks a little bit distributive. Price distributing at an obvious resistance level after tagging some very important inefficiencies, imbalances, whatever you want to call them. Failure to break above the daily EMA 200 just looks a little bit weak to me. I wouldn't be surprised to see us put in a new low here. Something like this. And then you're kind of looking for mid-range, mid-channel, I should say, to hold. And if it doesn't, we're kind of, the rotation down here is on, right? Value area high. Something like that. I will say that this isn't like This isn't the most forceful of rejections, and actually there's a bunch of liquidity here right now. Going into a weekend, it's a bit of a wild card. The order book is thin. Liquidity is less, so it wouldn't surprise me to see at least one more spike up. In fact, I would say that something like this could be a really nice trigger to short. I feel like we've seen stuff like that, yeah. Even in this range here, the high is getting run. And we also saw that here, where it's like, it's really not easy to, when you have this buy side liquidity building up, it's really not easy to jump into a high conviction position to the short side, I mean. See, I don't know, we already covered distributive PA versus accumulative PA on the last stream. Really good, by the way. This schematic, I actually went and I added this to the trading syllabus last night because I was really happy with my 2026 explanation of these concepts. But yeah, if you think about what are the key markers of distribution versus accumulation that we mentioned on the last stream, the key consideration is control, right? It's buyer or seller control. Are buyers still in control? Are they stepping out? Are sellers stepping in and gaining control, right? What is the structure telling you? Are we getting higher highs, higher lows? Are we getting equal highs, higher lows? Are the sell-offs getting bought back up? Sir, yeah, appreciate the follow. Is there a lack of seller follow-through, or is there considerable seller follow-through? Are we putting in lower lows? Are any breakouts to the upside being rejected, right? These are the questions that you should be asking when price ranges at the top of a trend. And we see that here. And you can either say that this is your trend, or you can either say that, you know, this is your trend if you want to look at the whole thing, or you can even say more narrowly that just this is your trend. And this is your range at the top of the trend, right? So you're looking at price action like this, right? That's how price moves, impulses and corrections, impulses and pullbacks, whatever you want to call them. But the price action that you get in the corrective phase will tell you whether or not it's likely that you're going to get further continuation, whether or not you're going to get another impulse, or whether or not you're going to get a reversal. And so far, this looks a little bit distributive, I would say. Obviously nothing major yet, but you know, haven't put in a new high yet. Instead, we are putting in a new low. Failure to get it back above this EMA 200. Interesting. You're kind of like, I don't know. We start losing this range. You're kind of thinking maybe this is just a again, in which case I would be looking at retest in mid-channel or potentially value area high. That's basically it. Bonds skyrocketing and also futures are red. High chance BTC dumps today. Yeah, absolutely love this track, by the way. Your Mac got shut down and now your Twitch isn't working. Okay, we'll see if we can fix that. There's a strong financial sector in Glasgow. Interesting. I didn't realize that. What's up, Passenger Peter? What's up, Veslin? Good to see you, bro. You're looking to scalp long at 79,560. Oh, interesting. So you're really looking at and this isn't convincing, I'm sorry. Like, someone asked me, you know, I posted a chart yesterday. I posted this chart, which is like, let me see if I can find it. I posted this chart and it's not super serious. I'm not trading off this, but you know, it's more to show you guys that I have been a vocal bull in the past. Just because I'm looking for downside now doesn't mean I am a high time frame bullish on crypto, high time frame bullish on BTC. But yeah, I remember being very, very bullish on BTC when it was trading at like 15K, right? 16K, something like that. And I said BTC and ETH down 75%, if you guys can read that. Most alts down 90%. Feels like we're at the bottom of the Wall Street market cycle chart. I've been fully stable for nearly a year. I think the time to start deploying capital is close. Now, full disclosure, I didn't deploy nearly half as much capital as I wanted to, but I still got a little bit in. Bought some nice spot bags that ended up running quite substantially, actually. Render was the best of those, of course. I got like a 23x on Render, or 26x actually, which is pretty fucking awesome. I got in at 50 cent, and at Pico High it was $13. Did I sell a single cent? No, I didn't, because I'm a retard. But yeah, live and learn, right? First cycle woes. But yeah, I posted this chart yesterday, and someone in the chat was like, but bro, we saw a pretty strong buyback yesterday, or like today. Doesn't that invalidate your idea? I was like, motherfucker, you're looking at a 3% pump on like an intraday pump. I was like, you're talking about a 3% intraday pump. Why would that invalidate my thesis for buying at low prices in 2027? You know, for me, it's always surprising how the average reply guy on CT, and nothing against this individual in particular, but the average trader has such an incredibly low time frame investment horizon. The average trader cannot conceptualize even months in advance. They just cannot. They don't have the imaginative capacity to think about, you know, getting into a position now that might pay dividends in 3 or 4 years. It's a foreign concept to them. The average market participant in crypto is a low time frame guy, and they are playing low time frame games, right? And if you want to beat that person, if you want to beat that counterparty, you just have to think longer than them. You have to think on a higher time frame than that person, and you will win 9 times out of 10. Like Buddy Buffett says, the stock market is a vehicle for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. Setlink. Absolute banger. Absolute banger. What's up, Reynolds? Oh, Matt with the repost. Let's go. Appreciate it, bro. Confetti for you. How you doing, Matt? You loved your comment on the S&P 500. Such an insane rally. Yeah, $11 trillion added. 4 times the market cap of BTC. It's crazy. Absolutely mad. What's up, Sniper Shark? You YOLO 20K Florins. Love to hear it. What's up, sir? Yep. You hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, bro. Hope you're the same. Can I chart Dash? We can look at Dash. Lots of double distributions lately, so daily NPOCs work nicely. Interesting. Yeah, we're just doing the NPOC module. The section on NPOCs in the auction market theory module. Veslin, you gave some great feedback on the first 3 modules, so I would love to. Hopefully, we'll get a similar amount of feedback once the next 3 release, which are going to be Module 4, Liquidity, Module 5, Inefficiencies, and Module 8, Auction Market Theory. You're still reading, yeah. It's a lot, you know? But, again, I wanted it to be as all-encompassing as possible. You're trying your luck with a 10k prop challenge on MCF? I hope it's on Breakout. The modules are going to be your Sunday reading studying. Love to hear that, man. Yeah, gotten some pretty good feedback on it so far, which is really gratifying. Great to hear. And again, we're not even halfway yet, so I think once everything is released and you can kind of look at it together at the same time, it'll be even more useful because everything is going to be interlinked, and We're gonna have a testing mechanism as well, with some very nice rewards. Breakout with the new platform. Let's go. Good to hear you're well, Matt. Do I trade BTC on low time frame or high time frame? I guess I'm more of a high time frame trader, but I execute. I almost always execute on lower time frames. I would say I execute a lot on time frames like the M5, the M15. That is... Man. Guys with motorbikes always annoy me. You do not need to be revving your engine so close to a residential area. Sorry, that's the... an old man shouts at youngins. Old man shouts at youngins. Unfollows, yeah. Man, every time it happens, completely takes me out of the zone. Dag nabbit. I can't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, multi-time frame analysis. So I was saying that, and this is something I cover in the modules. This is something I cover in, I think it's module 3. Or module 2. Let me find the exact place. Yeah. It's like 2.11. Hopefully this loads, yeah. So this is one of the graphics from our trading syllabus. This is at the very end of the market structure module. And it kind of shows you, like, you know, your high time frame analytical contextual framework is very different to your lower time frame execution framework. You know what I mean? Like, you might get your high time frame bias from the daily, right? Or the H12, something like that. And that allows you then to zoom in and start looking for trends that are in that direction. Sorry, to trades that are in favor of that trend on like the H1 or the H2 or the H4. And once you find a nice setup or a nice POI, you might zoom down to the M5 or the M15 in order to execute a trade on that time frame. But multi-time frame analysis is the way you should approach the markets usually. Unless, of course, I know plenty of guys who just do ultra low time frame scalping and they don't really care about high time frame bias. And that's fine. That's not how I trade though.
I had the feeling that I had no meaning.
Marquise, am I going crazy or am I noticing that this
Like we are connected from past lives.
that should this not be behind the arrow? Is this wrong? Can you check the way we've done the others? Dag nabbit, yeah. Okay, will you pick that up with the graphics team, please? MCF is so shitty for running 50% promos to milk out the leftover customers. Yeah, knowing that they wouldn't pay anyone out. Bulls ain't getting any cows after all. Well, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it's a really good set. It's Hernan Catania. It's outrageous how good he is. And the dude is like 60 years old. He's like 61 or something. It's a little bit outrageous. I don't know what I still like to be living that kind of a life at 61. No doubt he enjoys it, but I remember when I was like in my 20s, that's all I wanted to do was, you know, like be a DJ or be like an electronic music producer and like traveling all over the world, like playing sets in different gigs, being on the road, visiting cool countries. And like I would still like to do that now, but man, I would get sick of it pretty quickly, I think. I can only imagine what it's like in your 60s. Dash. We'll look at Dash. Are you still in the chat? Who's that? Surya. If you're still in the chat, Surya, I will look at Dash. Surya, are you still in the chat? Otherwise, I won't look at Dash. What is this chart, man? You're here. What is this chart, man? Did this chart run in November 2024? Am I remembering that correctly? Huh. It actually didn't run crazy. It actually ran. It's one of the few alts that put in a new high subsequent to November 2024. That's funny, man. What a shitcoin. How do you trade this shit? It's also a dino coin, right? It had its run. I don't know, man. I like these coins. It's like my outlook on these is the same, right? It's the same like Polkadot or I don't know. Maybe Near is another good example. Or like trying to think of the coins that absolutely ran, or like Filecoin, Storage Coin. There's so many coins that already had their day in the sun, and they'll probably never put in new highs again, like new all-time highs. I really don't know anything about Dash. Ouch, BTC. Any thoughts on the lab? RIP the lab. Omar with the cheer. Appreciate it. Dot link, yeah, Tia, yeah. So I can't even remember the coins that I shit on. There are too many of them, but all of these coins that had massive runs in 2021, and then in November 2024 they had slightly lower returns, and then 2025 even lower returns. Like it's, you know, it's the chart I always think of is the, was it Near? The chart I always think of is Near because it's the fucking euthanasia coaster, you know? So many of your favorite alts are just doing the euthanasia coaster pattern. What happened to the lab? They closed down. They're not running anymore. I guess they realized that it is not easy running a paid group, right? I think a lot of people, not even saying that they went into it with the wrong expectations, but I think a lot of people just assume that it's going to be a money printer. Start a group, start printing money out of nothing. Running a private community is like, without a doubt, if you have like a sliding scale of like easy money in crypto and hard money in crypto, and by easy money I mean stuff like setting up a ref link for like Bybit in the early days of 2021, right? When volume was coming into the market, where you have to do basically no work. All you have to do is post your ref link and you're gonna get $1 million a month, right? That's the easy side of crypto. And then you go all the way down. Like the hard side of crypto is actually like building something from the ground up. Like building a company, building a team, building a community. That's fucking hard. It's hard work. And if you're just going into it for the money, you will be extremely disappointed. I think we've seen a lot of groups realize that. I'm not even talking about them anymore, but how many private communities have you seen come and go in the last fucking year or two? Bottom line is it's a lot of work. And usually when people realize that, they just shut up shop. Yeah, we've been going for 4 years because we've been going for 4 years now because I love it. I love Chroma. I love working on Chroma. I love seeing people advance their own trading in Chroma. I love building it, man. It's such a fun project to work on. And I've put, oh, I don't even want to think about it, tens of thousands of hours into Chroma. How much is 10,000 hours? Maybe that's an exaggeration. 10,000 hours in years is 1.14 years. So I've definitely put in at least 10,000 hours. That'd mean that since launch that I'd been working on it for 25% of my time. And that's absolutely fucking true. But it's a labor of love, you know, it's a passion project. And that's the edge. That's why we're surviving. That's why we're still around and other groups have folded. Is because I'm not doing it for the money. It's because I love doing it. RIP TDL community? What's TDL? What's up, Luke? Holy fuck BTC? Yeah. We're rugging. It's a money and energy eater, yeah. But if you don't love it, then you're not going to be able to succeed. That's the thing. It was a near-death experience, yeah. Get this guy out of here. It's all good. You were shouting. About 5 years given an 8-hour workday. Well, that's pretty close then. I tell Claude, just work smart, make no mistakes, yeah. How you doing, Luke? Good to see you, bro. It's the community, Dan, I started in 2024. Oh, and it's finished now? I had no idea, to be honest. You and Dan. Which Dan is that? Oh, sorry, Trader Dan NL. Yeah. Because there's a very big Dan account as well, a Dutch Dan, who I met him in Singapore. I think his name is Dan as well. Yeah, he's Dan Crypto. Retro. Yeah, again, boys, this is starting to look very distributive. You had your BTC position with Florence. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It absolutely isn't, man. Boss doing the hard yards. Yeah, something like that. Double the 8 hours. Yeah. It's also great to see that it's a complete team of incredible traders, not just yourself or just a few. Yeah, 100%, man. There's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes. I'm just one small part of it. Are you still taking trades yourself? Not many. Not many at all. The last time I traded heavily was December to February. I was taking like 2 or 3 trades a day. But I just don't have the time at the moment. Every spare minute I get, I'm doing the educational content. And it's making really good progress so far, but Trading for me is tough. It's tough to trade when I'm also working on other things, because trading I find is quite time intensive. Like, I'm not one of those guys who can just set a position and forget about it. I find I end up focusing on it and paying attention to it. And then you have to factor in, like, if you want to trade well, you know, you need to be putting in screen time. For better or for worse. The best trades I've ever taken in my life is when I'm doing like 8 to 10 hours of chart time a day. And like, I feel really like I'm like looking at price action, getting a feeling for what's happening, paying attention to the narratives, etc., etc. Feel a lot more confident. What's up, Victor? 43 months. That's not a lot. That's not a short amount of time. Appreciate it, Victor. I guess we all sold in May and went away. I've been saying that. 8 to 10 hours, Laudy. What time frame just one can you vouch? H4. There you go. Well, it's not over yet. The M30 candle hasn't closed. We love the subs. Yes, we do. So TDL community is dead, Luke? Or on hiatus? I think we see higher to entice late longs, then drop. Yeah. Typical BTC Friday. But yeah, my feeling on altcoins is that most of them are just following this euthanasia coaster pattern. Even if we do get upside, the returns are lesser and lesser each subsequent year. Like, realistically, there are like, you can count on one hand the coins that you should be focused on. You should be looking at, like, the coins that I'm looking at the moment. It's like Hyperliquid, LIT, although this thing has been cancerous. Pengu, maybe. And then it's like ETH and Sol, and that's it. Are my YouTube shorts the same content as TikTok? Not identical, but yeah, similar content. Both short form video content. Feel free to shoot me a follow on TikTok. We have, I think we're, how many followers now? 710 followers. 710 followers. We need to get to 1,000. Need to get to 1,000. Alts are printing money. Alts are like printed money. Why would they buy it back from us unless, of course, the occasional short squeeze? Yeah. Thank God we have this motto, sell in May and walk away, yeah. Yeah, man. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look great, if I'm being honest. But let's see. New York Open reversal. Late in the chat talking about Chroma. That's the end of that mix. That's a good one. This is also a good one. This is Cosmic Gate. Huh, can't post for some reason. Can't post in my own YouTube chat. Down bad. What's up, Zero G Club? For some reason, I'm not sure why. Yeah, it doesn't look fantastic. Doesn't look fantastic. I think, man, you start closing below this low. The rotation lower is on, man. You're trading BTC instead of June. Man, I always forget how fucking young you are. It's actually crazy. You know, Sniper Shark, like, I'm not trying to fucking gas you up or anything, but like, you are in such a fucking incredible position because you're already like into trading, figuring out how it works, figuring out how to make money in this market, and you're like, what, 15 years old? Man, that's such a head start. Even if it takes you fucking 3 or 4 years to get your shit together, you're still entering a period of consistent profitability when you're a fucking teenager, which is nuts. I started trading when I was 30. Think about that. You had me beat by a decade and a half. What's up, Pika Crypto? How you doing? Kudos to that guy, stay in school, yeah. I also think he should stay in school, for what it's worth. But he's in a good spot. Oof. Oof. Do I believe in lunar cycle strategy? What is lunar cycle strategy exactly? That BTC, the markets are affected by the phase of the moon? New set, yep. How does the moon phase indicator work? I don't know why I can't post in my own chat. Oh, there we go. It's not working. What's up, Haj? Yeah, hard Friday. But what is the moon cycles indicator? What does it actually do? This kind of played out, didn't it? This distribution idea on TON. Because now we're what, 30% down? Yeah, 32% down. Interesting. Jupe coming all the way back down. Yeah, crazy how weak alts have been last few days. Dominance giving a bit of a dump now. I guess dominance, yeah. Easy to say that alts have been weak in general. This whole rally from the end of March to now. BTC is up what? 15%? 4%, something like that. Sorry, no, like 21%. But in that time, BTC dominance has also come up like 4 or 5%. So many alts just aren't moving. What was that chart we were looking at earlier? Not ZEC. Well, this is kind of playing out. Was it Aster? Yeah. It's just like, and there's lots of alts that look like this, man. Allergic to price appreciation. LIT is another one, man. LIT is the same price now as it was when the fucking rally began at the end of March. Basically zero price appreciation. You can say it's 10% up from the low, but not really, not really. It is the same price now as it was on 30th of March. You have not traded alts at all this year, not even slightly interested. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you have to wait until, well, I guess it depends on the style of trader you are, but from my style, you just have to wait for, you have to wait for something to change in the way capital is moving in the market. Because it's like alts that are down like 80% or 90% from the highs. Can you really short them? You're taking on so much tail risk and looking for very, very small moves. Scalps maybe, but swing shorts are basically impossible. Any kind of high time frame short is basically impossible. And you're just exposing yourself to a potential getting blown out, because at that point the market cap is so low that it takes very little to pump those coins like 2 or 3x. What are you looking for, a 10% move to the bottom? Whereas longing into a high time frame structural downtrend like that is also kind of suicidal. BTC bull confirmation is 120k. I really want to fucking long LIT. Like at some point. Am I mad? Well, I guess we're not getting our unicorn reversal here. Maybe we get something like this. Where it's like we sweep liquidity at one side before going for the other side. Just like this. Would be nice. Make it stop. Is it still going down? Yeah. Yikes. How are the bulls feeling? Nasdaq retraced, but BTC didn't. What do you mean? LIT been shit. Yeah, it really has. It's been terrible. I still fucking bullish on this thing though. Like, so many people are using Lighter. So many people are still trading on Lighter. It makes no sense to me that the coin would just die. But for whatever reason, it's trading like dog shit. So it could be one of those things where it just fucking goes far lower than people expect. NQ dumped and pumped at New York Open. Oh, sorry, you mean it retraced the dump. Right. Full moon, potential tops. New moon, potential bottoms. Okay, interesting. Has something to do with human psychology affected by moon phases. Yeah, so I've heard of that before. I mean, look, man, you tell me. I have an open mind about these things, but that just seems like bullshit to me, right? I don't know, you tell me, man. The thing is, like, everything works to a degree, right? It's like one of those things where Plenty of guys say that TA is bullshit, right? I don't argue with those people. Sure. I mean, I'm sure to a lot of people TA is bullshit. But for me and a lot of traders that I know and a lot of you guys, like, TA works for us, right? It allows us to identify patterns that repeat in the charts and expectations that we can use to trade, you know? That's what it is, right? That's what TA is to me. It's identifying patterns in the chart and seeing whether or not those patterns repeat and whether or not there's something that we can kind of base trade ideas around. You know, for some people that doesn't work. That's completely fine. They say TA is bullshit. Well, it works for me, and that's all I care about. I don't give a shit whether TA works for other people. It matters that TA works for me. Same with moon phases, right? I might look at moon phases and say it's bullshit, but there's probably a trader out there that fucking kills it with moon phases. And who am I to say that their methodology is bullshit? Not my position to say. Doesn't light our 0% fees, way less buying pressure from protocol and hype. Yeah, I guess so, right? Thank you, Sis. Tomorrow, the 16th of May, is a new moon. So we're gonna pump. Lines on the chart make me money, yeah. Something like that. The moon's gravity directly affects my brain because it's made out of rocks. There you go. Do the billionaires use it? If the billionaires use it, it works. Do the billionaires use it? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it somehow. I don't think the billionaires are using TA either, though. I will say that. Why would they be trading on Lighter? Because they could be trading on another deck and getting a potentially big airdrop. Yeah. I think I'm not sure is the airdrop meta even a thing anymore. I feel like people have been disappointed. At least, well, maybe I'm projecting. I've been disappointed. Oh, the 30-minute candle close, boys. I think we can call that one. Still, 30-minute reversal. Did I farm lit? I didn't. I had an issue with one of their team, so I purposefully dodged it. To my detriment, I should say. To my detriment. Yeah, GG, boys. 159,000 florins. You lost your BTC, but you made florins. There you go. Millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. Okay. Billionaires using a team of 100 quants. Maybe, maybe not. I think that if you want to scale to $1 billion, you're probably not trading. I think like trading is a really good way to scale to between 10 to maybe even 100 million. I think at that point you can't really trade anymore to make money. It becomes increasingly difficult. I would say that at that point you need to start looking at more kind of like VC stuff, investing stuff. Like there's no one scalping. There's no one with $100 million in their account that's scalping or even taking like intraday trades. Who would want to actively trade? I know a few very high network guys that are still grinding. I know guys that have 50 million in the bank that are still working like 12 hours a day. Because they just fucking love it. They love it. They're addicted to it. $100 million is enough for a lifetime. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I know guys who had $100 million in the bank that fucking gambled it all on meme coins and ended up round tripping 80% of it. Like high stakes capital. Didn't he ran like an account publicly up to, I don't know what it was, 300 million or 250 million in 2021? And ended up losing most of it in the bear market. Didn't he? You went down to like 10 million or something, which is still a huge amount of money. Don't get me wrong, but he lost a huge chunk of it, and he was able to run that back up to like, I don't know what he's on now, like over 100 million for sure. But this is all just fucking hearsay and rumors, by the way. I don't know how much of this is verified. But you know, there are plenty of stories about guys who have, like even James Wynn is an example. What did he have, 120 million on Hyperliquid and blew it all? Just because these guys have huge amounts of money doesn't mean they're going to make the smart decision or the rational decision to withdraw it all. Yeah, Birlak, by your logic, wouldn't guys like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk just cash out now and just retire? Some people just love the grind. 50 million is a great start on the road to 500 million. That's the attitude, right? That's the attitude. The interesting thing about this moon phase indicator is the probabilities. There is this trader called Eric Crown, who's all about probabilities, stats, backtesting, and he uses moon indicators. Interesting. I never heard of him, but I'm not that surprised. Let's skip forward here. A little bit too much. Jeff and Elon are scalping BTC on the M5. Facts. Absolute facts. Yeah, so I'm not sure really. Market in an interesting spot, to be honest. This looks really distributive to me, even though we have liquidity here. I think that a potential. Okay, let's look at the clean chart and let's start talking about some trade setups. Okay, I would say, because I'm not looking for longs here, by the way. This looks distributive to me. Thank you, Omar. This looks distributive to me, as I've already said. Oof. Bro. What the fuck? There we go. This looks very distributive to me. Now that said, we're building some buy-side liquidity to the top side here. Would not surprise me to see this get run before the eventual move down. So even though we are putting in these successive lower lows, it would not surprise me to see some fuckery to the buy side before going down again. If we do start going down, there's so much buy side liquidity to target. It's actually kind of wild. We really haven't had a good shakeout since the end of March. So there's just so many possible targets. So for that reason, it's like, I don't think you should be drawing your lines in the sand and saying, okay, well, once we get here, I will gig along. It's more like you pick your levels and you just monitor them and you wait for a reaction. Because like, there's a pretty substantial part of me that just thinks we're gonna fucking elevator down. I don't want to be fucking spreading FUD, but just seems to me that this move is overextended, and Equities are at all-time high, man. Equities are absolutely ripping. They've been melting faces for the last 7 weeks. Like, what happens if equities pull back? Like, even just a few percent. I think crypto gets railed pretty hard, to be honest. Yeah, 75 has my attention for sure. And that's another thing, like, consider all this. All these sell side lows. US bonds ripping hard. Yeah, so there is a crisis in the bond market at the moment. And I covered this already. I covered this chart yesterday on X. There is a bond market crisis brewing. The US 10-year, so this is the 10-year yield, is now at almost 4.6%. So this is the highest that it has been since May 2025. The highest it has been in a year. And, you know, people always talk about the 4.5% level as being the danger zone. We are now firmly inside it. The US 30-year is at 5.1%. It is well above the 5%, again, danger zone. If these charts break out to the upside, if these charts start trading up here, I'm sorry, but everything is a free short. I don't know a lot about equities, so I can't really speak to that, but my guess would be equities is a free short. My guess would be overvalued tech stocks, free short. Because the thing about this rally at the moment is, like, it seems it's crazy to say because the stock market's at an all-time high. But if you look at the actual companies that are leading that rally, it's mostly tech, it's mostly semiconductors, it's mostly AI. So it's more like, it's kind of like a narrative rally. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a little bit different to a rally where the entire economy is booming. And there's like a real kind of sense of like underlying strength, like lots of different sectors experiencing growth. This time it's really very much concentrated in the hands of a few tech companies. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you get the sense that everything else is kind of being dragged up a little bit. Rather than it being some kind of like inherent strength in the index, it's really a narrative-based strength. And look, I don't know a huge amount about trading equities, but it seems to me that makes things a little bit more fragile, especially with the bond market the way it is, right? You have 4.5% US 10-year, you have 5% US 30-year, and oil is like oil is like $100, right? At the moment, yeah, $99.9, right? That is inflationary. That's not what you want to see for liquidity in the market. Not really what you want to see for liquidity in the market. And then you look at the stock market and it's just absolutely melting faces. You know how much this is? This is $11 trillion added to the stock market in the last 44 days. 19%. 11 trillion, for those who are counting, is 4 times the BTC market cap. So, I mean, the crypto mind cannot even comprehend. Yeah, exactly, Treeborn. 11 trillion. Right? It just seems to me that this is potentially setting up for a pullback. And it's like, equities wouldn't even need to pull back that much. Right? Let's say you pull back 4 or 5%. And again, I'm not an equities trader, so forgive me if this looks ridiculous, but something like this, right? That's your 6.5% pullback on equities after a face melting run. What does BTC do? If we get that, what does BTC do? Well, for sure, it comes back to this value area, at the very least. And this starts looking like a failed auction. We start trading in here, the rotation is on. The rotation is on to value area low. Just seems to me that everything is kind of setting BTC up for a potential trend reversal here. After uptrending for the last 45, 44 days, seems to me that a top could be near. And look, I've said it to you guys a million times before. I don't mind being wrong on these ideas. Part of being a trader is being wrong frequently, and I am wrong frequently. There's nothing wrong with that. If we start trading back above, like I've said that, like my pivot point in the market is like 86, 87k. Because if we can get to like 86, 87k and start trading above it with conviction, with confirmation, closing high time frame candles, that to me shows me that we have left this value area behind and we have now migrated value high back to this previous value area. But haven't really seen that so far. At least not yet. And that's kind of my current outlook. Michael Burry publicly said that a big crash is near. What if the Fed cuts interest rates next meeting? I don't think they'll cut rates next meeting. I don't think the Fed will cut rates this year, actually. Personally. What's up, Yerma G? The Clarity Act run to 88k, then nuke. Well, that's the thing, man. The Clarity Act, we've already had it, right? And we retraced the whole move. 3 times the crypto market cap, yep. It gives you hope that your vaporware will pump too, yeah. Bubble rally should burst at some point. Free shorts then, yeah. Not passed yet. They had a meeting, but I think the meeting was constructive. I think they set the path to pass it, is my understanding. What's up, that one thinker? What do you think about Zcash holding up well against BTC? Zcash is crazy, man. I've given up trying to, although you see here, there's literally a distribution schematic on the screen, but yeah, crazy coin, man. I faded at your own peril, you know? This does look like distribution, though, I will say that much. It looks so like distribution. It's doing exactly what we thought it would. So, look, man. Maybe we get this. Maybe it runs this low. Maybe it retests the range low, and maybe it nukes. That could be your short. Interesting chart, though, for sure. Equities are flying crazy. People are even calling for 10,000 SPY. Yep. 10,000 spooge could be on the cards. The Fed thing is interesting because there are smart guys in my circle who think that the Fed will cut rates. I don't personally think so, but I'm not an economist. I'm not a macro analyst, so it's hard for me to say. Hard for me to say. Boys, I think we are going to call that there. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for joining me once again. It has been a pleasure. We will see you next week. I will only be doing 2 streams again next week, Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Friday is a good rhythm for me because it allows me to lock in a little bit on Monday. Thank you, Omar. Thanks, DK. Thanks, Bitstar. Thanks, Vestlin. You long BTC and NQ. Nice, man. Yeah, BTC not doing much compared to NQ. Thanks, Beerlack. Right, boys, we're going to call it there. I will see you on Wednesday. We have next week in Chroma, by the way, we have, I think we're doing the roundtable on Tuesday, and I think we're doing the psychology stream. I don't know when it's supposed to be, though, because Purdue has just booked a last-minute holiday, so I'm not sure. We might have to postpone that till next week, but I'll see you on the roundtable at the very least. And then the Twitch stream will be Wednesday and Friday. The Twitch streams. The Twitch X YouTube streams. How do you define your best trading time of the day? New York Open, typically. New York give the best trades. I also think Asia session can give clean price action, but the issue is that there's a lack of volatility. These days, at least. Happy weekends is, and yes, for those who are asking, I saw someone ask in the chat, the Blowfin campaign is still running. There is a random $150 being given to new signups. It's being given to 10 new signups. So far, we have less than 10. So if you sign up to Blowfin and the number stays under 10, you will guaranteed get $150. I'm just saying, the campaign has been live for a week. We have not even gotten 10 signups yet. And the 10 random first-time signups will get $150 each. There are also volume incentives on that. Full details are in the chat. Go check it out. Yeah, I know that not many people are trading at the moment. Not many people are doing good volume, and that's fine. But it does mean that for the guys who are still here trading, you have a better chance at getting these bonuses. And that's about it, boys. Fall is shilling. Shilling hard. I like Blowfin. Shout out Blowfin. They've been Chroma partners for over a year and a half. We've been partnered with Breakout for 3 years. Blowfin for a year and a half, and Teal Street for 4 years. Long-term partnership. Long-term partnerships with long-term people. That's how you should approach your crypto careers. That's how you should approach life in general. It's like what I said earlier. When you get into crypto, when you get into trading, remember that your counterparties are low time frame people with low time frame market outlooks. And to beat them, you simply need to outlast them. To beat them, you simply need to think on a higher time frame than them. Because they can't even comprehend things that are happening 1 year, 2 year, 5 years in the future. If you can do that, you already have an edge. You already have an edge. All right, boys. On that note, we're going to call it there. Enjoy your weekends. I will see you back on Twitch, X, and YouTube on Wednesday. Until then, stay safe. Shoot me a follow on TikTok if you're not already, because we have lots more content coming out over the next few days. We have like a bunch of videos lined up. Thanks, Leap. Thanks, Omar. Thanks, Ty Blue. Enjoy your weekends, boys. I'll catch you on Wednesday. Until then, try not to get liquidated. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Love you. Bye-bye.
It's always the same. It comes with the rain. Tell myself it's getting better every day. Still, I hope I'll find out what it's all about. Yeah, I hope someday it will come my way. All at once. All at once. All at once. still. I hope I'll find out what it's all